Honorable Sanjay K Chadha, sir, Supreme Court of India and Managing Partner at BSK Legal, Solicitors and Advocate. Divyanshi Mehta, State General Secretary, NYCI Delhi, for giving up with this platform. Ratnesh Jindal, State Vice President, NYCI Punjab, for taking up this initiative. Respected viewers, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to each one of you. On the International Human Rights Day, a National Youth of India, Punjab brings you up with the discussion on the topic police attitudes and human rights. As a guest speaker of the day, we have been joined us by a very renowned personality in the field of law, Advocate Sanjay K Chadha, sir. Let me take you all to the brief bio sketch of Sir. Sir is the managing partner at BSK Legal, Solicitors and Advocate. Sir has been practicing at Supreme Court of India from last 25 years. A known face in television, a known face in television and print media. He is also a member of Sahitya Kala Parishad and passionate about culture and sports. And there is so much to say on Sir Forte and area and continue upon. On behalf of National Youth Council of India, I welcome you, sir. Now, I request you, sir, to kindly take over the session and brief us on the topic. Over to you, sir, please.
Thank you, Dimash. First of all, I would like to congratulate all of you, the participants here, and of course, the organizers of this event about the National Human Rights Day or World Human Rights Day. Why we have 10th of December as Human Rights Day, world over we celebrate it, because in the year 1948, United Nations General Assembly has adopted a resolution for Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And in the year 1950, the United Nations General Assembly has passed a resolution for commemorating this day as World Human Rights Day. So that was just a important aspect about this particular day, which we are celebrating today, the next day, that is 11th of December. So all of you, I congratulate you. And I also welcome and convey my regards to Ratnesh Jindal, as well as Divyanshi Mehta, who've been the strong pillars of this National Youth Council. That is, as far as this subject today is concerned, it is about the abuses which the police does, the atrocities on the name of performing their own duties. We have seen, we all are well aware of it. We all know police ka danda bada khatarnak hota hai. That's what an old saying. Police abuses can also be termed as police atrocities, excessive or undue use of force by the law enforcement agency, if I may define it. It's a kind of civil right violation. Everybody has civil rights as per the constitution, as per the fundamental laws of the land. We all have rights. And as far as the human right is concerned, our constitution is very rich in that. In the constitution, a separate chapter is provided, that is part 3, which provides for fundamental rights of the citizens. Fundamental rights, including right to equality, freedom of speech and expression, right to life. All these fundamental rights are human rights. And our Honorable Supreme Court in various judgments have time and again had stated that fundamental rights are very, very fundamental to all of us, first of all. And secondly, as far as the right to life is concerned, In the right to life, the Supreme Court has not only has said that right to life means right to life per se, just to live. No, it is right to life, right to live with human dignity. And the ambit of right to life is so wide that in its judgments, Supreme Court has incorporated that right to education is also right to life. Right to breathe clean air is also right to life. You name anything. And to the extent, it reminds me, to the extent that Supreme Court in its judgments have stated that right to life includes the right to die and right to die in a dignified manner. The day one, when a human being starts his life, from there it starts until the day the person loses his identity or is no more. Till that day, he has all rights, not only enumerated in our constitution, but also the spirit of law, the grand norm of the law specifically says that each one of us have a fundamental right of, all the human rights are very, very essential that way. Now, this is the law. Despite that, we see that the police misuses its power. Not only physical abuse, verbal harassment is also there, the abuse of language. Not only that, mental agony which is created to the individual by these police persons we have seen that. Of course, there are so many nice officers I have dealt with, and people might have different experiences. Good, positive experiences are also there. But जैसे कहते हैं ना, एक भी अगर कोई तिनका भी होता है तो वो पूरा समाज को खराब करने की कोशिश करता है. Similarly, but in police we have seen it more and more, and that is the reason there are incidences where we have seen, they have come into light where we have seen that these police persons are harassing the masses and violating their human rights. That is what is the topic today. As far as that those things we have seen, not only, as I said initially, physical, mental, verbal, even to the extent they go and damage your property also. So that kind of thing. As far as Indian context is concerned, we are confining ourselves to. It reminds me of one example. Very recently, we have seen that where a person who of black origin was agitating against something, the police person came and put his leg on his head, and it happened in America. So I will not go to America or anywhere else. I will confine myself to my own country today. What is the state of affairs as far as the human rights are concerned? Qua police and how police treats us. This is what I will try and deal with it. I can divide these events, rather these atrocities or these brutalities into two types. One, where the police does so with a target, where the target is large number of people. I give you examples way back in, Jallianwala Bagh is one of the examples. Then you can see, Hashimpura massacre. Then you can talk about Bhagalpur blinding case, where 30 odd people, 31 people were blinded by the police. One must understand this. The police role is to curtail the criminal acts. One, catch hold of the criminals. But its role is not to punish the criminals. Its role is not to exercise its excessive power on these people. that role is given to the court. The police has to produce the accused persons to the court, and court will accordingly punish them or whatever. The trial will go on, and so these police persons have to be, this has to be seen. Now, one case is this scenario where in large number of people, where victims are in large number. Other is where individuals are caught and this brutality by the police is done on them. For example, we remember, you must be remembering that case of Tuticorin. What had happened there? Where, I must say, custodian death of father and son, shopkeepers. They were beaten, brutally tortured, and sexually assaulted. Father and son. Their fault was that during the lockdown, they had opened their shop after 8 o'clock. That was the fault. 2 people died. Just think of the family. What must have happened to the entire family? Was it legal? No. That is what is called power abuse, if I may use. It is because of their power. The police took them up, brought them to the police station, and did all this kind of wrong done. We have seen during the Corona period, all these police persons was using lathis, hitting people right, left, and center. Was that allowed? Indiscriminate use of lathi, is it allowed as per our law? The answer is no. That's also violation of human rights. Now, I would tell you to take up one more very important aspect as far as the act of violation of human rights is concerned by the police is the extrajudicial killings. We see it. We have seen fake encounters have been done by the police. Very recently, in the news, we have seen encounter of the culprits of Priyanka Reddy. We saw them. Was it an encounter or a fake encounter? We have seen encounter of Vikas Dubey. Was it an encounter or was it a fake encounter? I don't think I need to ask anybody this. Now, as far as extrajudicial killing by the police are concerned, if I may say that, thank you. If I may say that police has the right to kill only in cases where it is eminently necessary, where it is necessary to use force. If you are, that is specifically provided under section 46 of the act, where it is written that in case it is necessary to arrest a criminal, then we have got general exceptions under IPC, where it is very specifically provided that in case it is eminently necessary in self-defense, then police can kill. So those exceptions were not utilized. Now, if I go to this extrajudicial killing, if I may talk about, I remember during the year 1990s, 2000, that decade, 3 decades back, 90s, 2000, we have seen in Mumbai what was happening. To wipe out the underworld the Mumbai police started killing these criminals, so-called criminals. They are not declared criminals. And as when I took up Priyanka Reddy case, I say that they are two different events. I am not at all saying that Priyanka Reddy's criminal should be left. No. We are governed by rule of law. We are governed by law. There is a process. If they have committed a crime, they should be punished as per the criminal law, not as per the whims and fancies of these police officers. You can't do that. You are not allowed to. Vikas Dubey, I know about it, that there were 64 cases pending against him, and all of them were brutal crimes. I am well aware of it. Despite that, I condemn the fake encounter. Despite that, I am saying that police atrocity, and I put this very categorically within the ambit of police atrocities, as I mentioned in the beginning. We have seen the police officers named as encounter kings. Daya Nayak, Pradeep Sharma, each one of you know them. And not 1, 2, or 3. They have killed hundreds of if I may say, people, not criminal. I'm not using the word criminal. How do you know that they were criminal? Whether any court has passed any order against them? There is a law which we have to follow. And look at this, the other part which all of us has to understand. What is happening today when we see that what is the response of the masses towards it? People like it. If Priyanka Reddy's killers were killed by the Hyderabad police, people celebrated it. They distributed sweets. They distributed, few flowers on the police persons. Why? There is a reason behind it. What we saw when Nirbhaya's criminal took, it took 7 years to kill those people. To get justice, it took time. But the system is such. I'm not justifying that. But the criminal jurisprudence in entire world is like that. Delay part, I'm not talking. You have to secure justice. Do work for expediting those things. Court procedure, expedition of those procedures should be done. Not by using these illegal methods of curbing crime. I would say illegal methods. There is an old saying, if the rule will become like this, that eye for an eye, that if that rule will applicable, the whole world will become blind. This is an old, somebody has said so. And that applies here very categorically. If somebody has killed, murdered, done some crime, there is a law which should punish. It will not give any right to the police. It should not give any right to the police. And if today each one of us will not take up this issue, what happened in the case of the girl Hathras? I think that is, on the one hand, in the beginning, as I said, the Supreme Court, our law, our constitutional courts have very categorically mentioned that everybody has a right to die in a dignified manner. Even after the death, when we do the cremation and all, that is also right. And what was done? And no accountability. That is the saddest part of it. These encounters, etc., are increasing day by day. Police torture, police atrocities are increasing day by day. And that is being liked by people. Just see, we are not seeing that it is against what, if it will become a practice tomorrow, we might be the sufferers. This is very important. Please understand. I want to quote few cases where we have seen that police have done false encounters. Like, I began with Maharashtra. You know, in those 20 years, 1,200 people were killed, as I mentioned before also. In Punjab, today, Ratnesh Jindal is sitting with us. In the 3 decades back, police did so many atrocities during that insurgency time. I know those were criminals, but that doesn't not authorize you to kill them. That's a human right violation, very specifically. गेहूं के साथ घुन भी पिसता है, that's what they say. In Gujarat, what had happened? In the year 2002 to 2006, we have seen at least 30 odd encounters. Israt Jahan, Saharabuddin, Tulsiram Prajapati, what else? I don't remember many names. Sadiq Jamal, all these people were killed by police without any trial. Finish the matter. I remember one more case, two, three cases I can tell you. When I belong to Uttaranchal, so I would like to mention about when the peaceful demonstration was going on. People were supposed to come from Uttaranchal. Men, women were coming on 1st of October. They were coming for a peaceful demonstration before Rajghat near Muzaffarnagar. Police stopped them. Buses were stopped. Firing was done and 13 people died. Women folks have to see that black day where the police did a lot of atrocities on them. I need not to mention all that. That's a part of history. Black Day, I must say. In Pilibhit, we have seen there was a what you call, those pilgrims were going to some religious place. The police mistaken thought of the police. They killed 11 people, thinking that they are the terrorists. I remember on fake encounter, our own Supreme Court has given various guidelines. Justice Venkat Chalaiya, I remember the name. In 1997, he was the chairperson of the Human Rights Commission. He drew certain guidelines that in case an encounter takes place, everything should be narrated, everything should be produced so that the transparency is there, and why an encounter has happened, who has informed about the happening, who has who is the informer, the reporting of the event has to be made and has to be placed before National Human Rights Commission. That all those guidelines, if you want, I can go into that as well. Similarly, we have seen there was a case in the Supreme Court in the year 2014, PUCL versus the state of PSUL versus Union of India, People's Union of I don't know, Civil Liberty. Yes, People's Union for Civil Liberty. PUCL has filed a case in which the Supreme Court has given guidelines. 16-point guidelines were enumerated by the Supreme Court. Supreme Court said that these are the guidelines in cases of encounter, what you have to do, what police has to do. But as a matter of fact, very sad to say that these things are not being followed properly. Still, we see those incidences of police atrocities day by day. Now, we all are well aware what had happened in this Vikas Dubey's encounter, how this encounter has happened, how this basically they arrested him in the morning, entire day they sat in the Ujjain city. Thereafter, without taking any permission from the court. This is the negative aspect I'm telling you. They took no permission, no transit remand as we call it. No transit remand is being taken by them. And they took the police, I wanted, because there are certain non-law students, non-law people are also there. When you have arrested police, it is the duty of the police when police arrest somebody in some other place and that arrested person has to be taken to some other some other town from where the police has come. They have to take a transit remand from the police, from the court. Court will give a remand for this journey. From Ujjain to Kanpur, they have to get this individual criminal. They didn't took the transit remand. The reason is very categorically clear. They will have to have some accountability thereafter. That is the reason they said, where is the need to be accountable? Very clear evidences are there that it was a fake encounter. I would just put 3-4 points which will show how it was a fake encounter. First, there was a Baragate police toll, Baragate toll was there. In the toll, this is the name of the place, Baragate is the name of the place. Baragate toll plaza, the vehicle crosses. The videography is done there because that toll plaza, Baragate toll plaza, I still remember, has a video camera like there. In the video camera, we saw he was sitting in some other car. Now, after 15 kilometers, now at this particular point, the entire traffic was stopped. Look at the event. And after 12 kilometers, a car is turned. Car got turned. And the case of the police is that car got turned and then he was running behind and then the police did this encounter because he was trying to escape. This was another car first. Second, when the car was turned, no, what you call, गाड़ी को कुछ हुआ ही नहीं, शीशा तक नहीं टूटा गाड़ी का, गाड़ी पलट गई, गाड़ी का शीशा भी नहीं टूटा. On that night rather, there was a rain. You see the cases that he ran and then we shot. He ran, and he was wearing white dress. In the entire dress, there was not even a drop of what you call, his clothes were absolutely clean. No, मिट्टी लगी ही नहीं थी उनके कपड़ों पे. If you shoot somebody, he's running, rain is happening. He's running in the field, his clothes are absolutely neat and clean. Anyways, I just wanted to convey to you that this is nothing but extrajudicial killing. Now, this is one aspect. Now, which shows, and here I would like to put some data also, wherein in last 10-15 years, we have seen thousands of such cases. So cases are in large number. It is not that it's an exceptional thing which is happening sometime or the other. Now, this is one thing which is regularly being seen, and we saw that police atrocities are happening all across the country. We have seen Uttar Pradesh is one of the champions. Maharashtra is there, Rajasthan is there, Gujarat is there. You name the place, Tuticorin, that means Kerala is also, Tamil Nadu is also covered. Meaning thereby, this is happening. The other day when I was talking to a very, a person, he has very reasonably said one thing, and I wanted to quote it here. This was a very, something which really I thought, yes, it is the truth. There are a large number of cases, they don't reach court. Police themselves do the justice the way they want, which is again violation of human rights. That's what somebody was telling to me. I don't remember the name, but somebody from the journal Public was talking to me. And when I realized, yes, absolutely, it is the correct scenario. Today, if you go, this is another aspect which I want to deal with. When we talk about police atrocities, police brutalities, police. So this is also one of the brutality which I'm going to talk now. You go. Any one of you go and file an FIR. Something happens, you go and report an FIR to the police. I would say the police will avoid writing. The moment you enter the police station and they come to know that you have come there for writing an FIR, they will say, "Ek aur musibat aa gayi." Though their work is this. Now, what Supreme Court says, what our other constitutional court says is the same. That everybody has a right to get, if there is an offense being committed, FIR should be registered. But we have seen police will not do this. There is a judgment of Lalita Kumari versus State of UP, in which Supreme Court has very categorically stated that wherever there is a cognizable offense, the police is bound to register an FIR. Duty bound to register an FIR. And the law is very, very clear on that. But what is the practical aspect? I challenge here. You go and request the police to register an FIR. Police would not do it. Police will prefer to avoid you to the maximum. They will start doing compromise. Now, what happens to, all of us have in our family, women are there. I have a daughter, I have my wife, my sisters are there. If I may tell you, if there is a case against, a woman is being uh, harassed or somebody is troubling her, you go and file a case. The police will sit as a mediator. Police will say, we will get you compromised. We will see that he says sorry to you. But they will not write FIR. Is this the law? No, this is not the law. The law says whenever there is a complaint by a woman, the police has to expeditiously, very quickly write an FIR. I want to tell you one more thing here. What had happened after Nirbhaya's brutal case? There was a great agitation in this country. The government was forced to appoint Justice Verma Commission. And there were a lot of recommendations, specifically if I talk about women folks, a lot of what you call lot of recommendations were made by Justice G.S. Verma. But what happened to those recommendations? Certainly something has happened. The law has become more stringent, more strict. Qua the culprits of any woman, yes, law is now little strict. Not little, quite little strict. But still the scenario of writing the FIR is not there. I will demonstrate and tell you one more thing. In the G.S. Verma, which is one of the very dear recommendation which I really appreciated. Many of them are all of them are very, very close, if I may say, and they were very, very good. And that's the reason the government has accepted those. The concept of zero FIR was also. Why this zero FIR is an FIR wherein without any delay, if what happens sometime, we have seen most of the time police persons also denying writing FIR on the ground that they don't have the territorial jurisdiction. They say, please go to this police station, please go to that police station. The same happened when a daughter of this country, Nirbhaya, was brutally, that offense was committed. Thereafter, the people, even they had gone to file the FIR, the police thana. Police were confused as to which police station should have filed an FIR. And at the end, because that bus was roaming around in few police stations. So which police station should have the jurisdiction? That was the question. So, and then looking into that scenario, the J.S. Verma Ayog, J.S. Verma Commission gave the recommendation that in such cases where there is a little confusion, you should immediately write an FIR so that we could stop the offense. We could take some immediate step. Now, and similarly, based upon that, J.S. Verma Commission's report, the national government, central government in the year 2014 has also circulated an advisory all across the country. All the police stations were served with this notification of the government. In the notification, it was advised that immediately you should write an FIR, and more so for the women folks if there is a crime against any woman, so that we immediately take a step and stop the damage. Now, what happened in Priyanka Reddy case? 7:30, her parents started searching her. Immediately they had gone to the police station. The police station said that please go to this police station. We don't have the jurisdiction. That police station said that no, please, we don't know where she was. So you go to the other police station. 4 police stations they had to chase. Where is that rule which was passed by the central government, which was direction of the Supreme Court, direction of the Honorable High Courts, direction of the J.S. Verma Commission, direction of those advisories? What has happened to those advisories, directions, court orders? Nobody followed. If those directions would have been followed in their true spirit and sense, at 7:30, if the police should have started, the moment they got the information, we might have that girl might be living today. I want to tell you, this is a very serious issue. So that shows that the police, this is also a big atrocity. It is also a violation of a human right of an individual. This is my human right that an FIR should be written. Writing of FIR does not mean that you punish somebody. Investigation will happen, trial will happen, then only a commission of then only if person is convicted, then only a person is will be treated as a criminal. So writing an FIR is the first point of start of a criminal investigation, I would say. They don't write. Now, other than that, now we talked about extrajudicial killing also. We talked about FIR. Now, FIR, shall I tell you the law? What law says? One thing I just wanted to mention here. What law says? Law is very, very clear. Section 154 of CRPC. The law is very clear, very, very loud and clear rather. The word uses the police officer shall, in case of cognizable offense, shall. In case of cognizable offense, the police officer shall register an FIR. This is what is the law. And what is the practice? We know. I just mentioned about it. Now, one more aspect of police atrocities is custodian death. We talked about extrajudicial killing, encounters, fake encounters. Now, last but not the least is this also. Custodian deaths have been taking place. Tuticorin incidents, I told you. Incidents of Bhagalpur I mentioned. That was not a custodian death, but it was a custodian torture. Just think of it. How so big they are, the criminals. You take their eyesight, put, and look at this. Other agony is that people are really appreciating it. A film was made on this, Ganga Jal. I remember. Ajay Devgan was the person in that film, if I'm not wrong. Ganga Jal film is made. We are praising, wow, this police has done wonderful work by pouring acid in the eyes. I remember another case I would like to mention. Tuticorin was one of the examples. Hashimpura massacre. I don't want to go into all that because my objective is to tell that, and that shows that we have got various such incidences are there. I also want to tell all of you that these are the few incidences which are coming into light. N number of cases are there which don't come into the light even today. It's a sad state of affair. I've got 10 more minutes left, and I think we have to have some question answer sessions also. So last few words as far as the custodian death is concerned. If I may tell you, what is the number in this country of the custodian death? Somewhere around 1700 every year in the custody. And you know, it reminds me, one CMO in Patna was, you know, found dead in the custody. CMO, Chief Medical Officer. So they don't leave anybody. Today, being part of this National Youth Council session, I think all of you should take a vow that you have to do something for this. We have to raise our voice. If we will remain silent, as I said, eye for an eye, the day is not far when everybody will be blind. Are we looking for that? No, we are not looking for that. We are looking for a finest India. We are looking for a brighter India. We are looking for an India where human rights are equally given to each one of us. I think if I may talk about police reforms, you know what, which year we have a Police Act? 1861. Various committees have been made. Supreme Court has passed an order. A judgment is passed in Prakash Singh case. A few days back, there was a judgment, I think 2nd of December 2020. Supreme Court has passed an order in which it has been mandated by the Supreme Court that all police stations should have the CCTVs at each and every place, so that, you know, such things, such atrocities are not done. It reminds me of one more thing, one more statement of one of our home ministers, Rajnath Singh ji, in the year 2015. His ministry has given a statement in the parliament that within one and a half year, we will complete the CCTV work all across. But what has happened? We all are well aware. Lack of political will is very, very important. They don't, you know, if they're, so it's a sad thing. I don't want to comment on that. And with these words, I want to, now I think it was given to understand that there are certain questions, and I feel the time is also running. Though this subject is such a big, I can speak for hours together on this. The only thing which I would like to say, like to convey through this webinar, which is being organized by National Youth Council, that it's a very important and serious issue. We all have to really work and raise our voice for you know, these human rights violations. And this is the right day you have chosen, the National Human Rights Day, International Human Rights Day rather, where the best part is that India has been part of each and every human right or international convention. So that's all as far as because the time is limited, and I would like now all of you, anybody has any question, you can please come up.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. This is Suvidi Jain.
How are you, beta?
I'm fine, sir. How
Very
are you?
nice. I feel so proud seeing my, especially the women folk, when they come up and talk, I feel very, very happy.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Sir, my doubt is that in starting you said that why people praise such fake encounters. One of the
Yes.
reason can be that the justice denied by our judiciary and law system. So, if we see that the final hearing of the court is also the one of the justice to the culprits, like they also have the like. They also have that right to be listened. So can't we say that these are the loopholes in our law that deals with that is unable to deal with it? And can't we say that justice to one is the injustice to another one? So
Subhiti, your views are very, very genuine and correct, I feel. As I said, the girl for which thousands of youth of this country, rather lakhs of people were standing, it took 7 or 8 years to get justice, Nirbhaya. So such a long time. But we have to see one thing. The root cause, as Subhiti has said, the root cause is delay in the judicial system. Root cause is not this. So let us rectify that. The need of the hour is rectification there, not killing the criminals. By your judgments, honorable courts, by their own judgment, should create a deterrent. The person, the culprit, should have this deterrent in mind, that in case this offense is being committed by me and I am caught, within 6 months I will be punished. This is one case. Subhiti, you will be surprised to note that there are cases which are running in this country from 20 years. Hashimpura, the judgment came from Delhi only. The case was transferred to Delhi. How many of the accused persons, many of the accused persons were even no more. They died before. So yes, I totally agree with you, Subhiti Jain, that we need to have rectification in our judicial system. The quicker justice delivery system is required now. And I feel all of you, many of you are going to be the lawyers, many of you are very dynamic people. Devanshu is sitting there, he's doing his business masters, or not masters, but he's studying in business area, and various fields. You guys are there. You become the torch bearers today. Spread this legal awareness. Spread this voice that yes, government has to take certain steps for the quick justice. And then I feel the result will be there. Thank you.
I'm sure, sir, the valuable insights you share will bring the change in the nation of our citizens and youth that will get aware of their rights.
Devanshu, I want to say,
yes, sir,
even
please.
if one effort is there, from the broader perspective, it might be very, very small. But I want to tell you this. Today's incidents I want to quote. One of my friend who's working in very big MNC, he has reported one offense of traffic. Very small thing, I'm telling you. How vigilant he is and how he did it. He informed the police that this person was coming on from the wrong side. And because I just stopped it, it would have been a big accident. And he informed the police. Police didn't took any action, but he was very vigilant. He informed the higher authorities. Then he used the social media. Today's social media is very, very important. You can use these if there is a police atrocity, police non-working is there, you can use this social media. He put this in the that, and later on today he has called me that the other side was fined for 5,500, and he was very happy. He said, I must have spent so much time in it. So when you are vigilant and you are taking any steps, the result will be there. Be vigilant, and vigilant not only for your rights, but the rights for the society where you live. It is your duty. All of us has a duty towards the society also. If anybody has any other question, they can ask it.
So seeing all these scenarios, one question arises in mind generally, that why can't a government passes a new bill with necessary amendments for the modern society through a parliament and making it a strict law so that these things can come to an end? So what we can say to this, sir, is this lack of political will or some factors are influencing behind it, that why we are not making it a strict law for the nation and for the betterment of the youth and the society? That police
this is a very, I think this is the root question for today's topic. But certainly, I feel law is dynamic. Law changes as per the requirement, and that day is not far. We saw that with the J.S. Verma Commission's report, we saw 2015 amendment, 2017 amendment, 18 amendment we saw in criminal law, and many of the provisions have become very, very harsher. That is one aspect. Strict law is made, but stricter implementation is also needed. We have to really the government has to genuinely do some efforts. And that will come only when there is a pressure on the government. In today's scenario, I think this has become a very common phenomena that government is acting only upon the pressures, which is very sad, because it is the responsibility of the government to work for the society. It is the duty of the government to work for, after all, we all are paying taxes. It is not, and we have elected them. If you are unable to perform, please leave. We will look for some other person. We have not given you the vote only for the purpose that you become the king, rural. Start ruling here, dictating your things. No. The need of the hour is that we explain it to them very categorically, that do your duty properly.
Okay, sir, that's somehow we can relate to this question, that in our future we can hope for the best under these laws. And
we have to always be very, very positive.
Exactly.
You know, if we will not remain positive, what I feel, that will be another sad day. We have to be positive. We have to work with a positive mindset whenever and whatever might be your effort. It might be a small effort. I put it across like this, that today we all are sitting here. This is also an effort. Devanshu, this is an effort. And even at the end of the day, if out of this effort we are able to improve upon one thing, I think we have achieved our goal. So even a smaller goal, a smaller work which is done by us or anybody is important.
That's true, sir. That's obviously true. So there's a question from the audience side, and they're asking is, suppose the family of the victim in a murder case needs a culprit or accused to be punished by the capital punishment. rather than a mere life imprisonment or jail term.
All right.
How can we, as lawyers or a law student, convince them that a killing for the killed is not correct?
Oh my God, this is. I would say it has a two dimensions. One is, first of all, I want to convey to all my audience that when, in which case, death penalty is awarded. The law in this country, our country, in India, it is very clear. The death penalty is given only in exceptional cases, only in the cases which fall within the ambit of rarest of the rare cases. Only there the death penalty is awarded. Some heinous crime is there, something, you just see, like Nirbhaya's case. It was a fit and suited case for death penalty. So the law is this. Law is very clear on this, that only in the cases of rarest of the rare this happens. Now the second limb of your question is about that how can we convince the person who the family or the person who has lost his person, who has lost somebody, and in lieu of that they are demanding death penalty. Now this is a very, very personal aspect. Only one example I can give here is when our Prime Minister Shri Rajiv Gandhi died, the culprits were given death penalty. But the family of Shri Rajiv Gandhi have pardoned, they have requested the court that we want to pardon. So it depends upon you really, what is the feeling you have. Because, at the end of the day, there are two aspects of it. One aspect is that you have lost somebody very dear. That aspect. And second is what fruit it will give to you if the other person, the culprit, the accused, is being killed by the police, by the legal system. So it is entirely I would say it depends upon the person, and it varies what exactly is there in his mind, and that's all.
One more question from audience side, sir. It's saying that does the delay caused by some of the advocates in case to get money from the clients could be a loophole to the system?
Well, Devanshu, this is one of the, I think, root cause. Delays are being done. Delays, justice is delayed. And there is an old saying, justice delayed is justice denied. As I mentioned during the course of discussion, I said that we have about thousands of cases are pending, and cases which are pending, many of the cases are from pending since years, 1 decade or 2 decades. So certainly, yes, no doubt about it. There are many cases which are delayed and which are intentionally delayed, and justice is denied to many of the people. And you have rightly said that many of the lawyers are also responsible for that, and they do it for their own benefit. There is no doubt about it. But we need a system. The system should be there that more than one adjournment will not be given, more than 2 adjournment will not be given. Only in exceptional circumstances adjournment will be given. So it is not in the hands of somebody to mold it. Once the law is there and legal proposition is such that you can take adjournments, then you will certainly take it. I would not blame the lawyers for that. I would would like to mention here that it is entirely because of the legal system which is there, the law books, statutes, provisions which are being used for delaying the delivery of justice in the criminal legal system.
That's true, sir. That's true, sir. Okay, sir. Last one more question we have received from our audience is that can we file a case against the police or can we sue the police? If yes, then what would be the procedure a normal citizen should follow? इसमें what could be a brief, sir? इसमें हम क्या कह सकते हैं कि what could be the brief to it a normal citizen should follow? A normal procedure under this.
All right. Now, if let's say 2-3 aspects I will cover in it. If you go and file an FIR and the police doesn't do it, that is one aspect. Number 2 is police is harassing you. That is another some police officers, individual are harassing you. First and foremost, what you can do is you can report to the senior police officers, SP level in Delhi. If we are there, ACP and above, you can talk to them, write a complaint to them, one aspect. Second, there is, a specific provision in the law book that in case somebody is not following the law, you can write complaint, criminal complaint against the police person. That you can very well do. In the law, there is a provision. You can, if somebody is not writing an FIR, that means that public person is not, public officer, that is the police person, is not fulfilling his duty by not writing the FIR or by doing whatever atrocity or something, whichever brutality, whatever you call it. And you can certainly write and complain about it.
Absolutely, sir.
The law is there for you.
Yes, sir.
And I just gave example of Harinder Chugh, the friend of mine who has reported this case, the traffic case I just mentioned. So similarly, you have to be really patient also. Patiently you can work and you can get results.
Definitely, sir. It's a good saying that work patiently and you will get the results. So thank you so very much, sir. And we will conclude this session and we'll like to have a closing statement from your end. That what would you give a message to our youth, to the citizens of our country and to the global citizens that what could be done in this situation and how to react with positive mindset during this?
Devanshu, my piece of advice to all of us is this, that one has to be always positive, number one. If at all somebody is stuck in the police, human right violations, as we said, then you should very positively fight. And the lawyers, many of you are going to be the lawyers. I could see Vishwa, Karthik, all these people, I know them. So you have the power. You can help them, help such people. It is very, very eminent, very, very necessary rather, that the people who are at a better position should help the people who are not in the right position or right place or are weak. We have to help others also. It is our duty. Otherwise, what is the fun of living, I would say? You should certainly help others, and certainly it will give you a lot of satisfaction once you do it. So my message to all of the people is help others, see that police, if at all we find that police is involving into some kind of wrong doing. But that doesn't mean that we have only talked about the negativities. We have lot of positivities as far as the police role is concerned. Police, because of the police, we've been safe. We are sitting at our home. All those things are also there. So police is not only negative. As the topic today was that the police atrocities and abuses, so we confine to that. But I know many police officers. They are the one who have really done wonders for this country, I must say. We have got during this Corona period. Yes, I mentioned the unjustified use of lathi I mentioned. But thousands of police officers, police persons have really helped, I don't know, I would say millions of Indians, giving them food, giving them shelter, giving them protection. So police is our integral part. We are not different from, police people are not somebody who's different. So police has also, I would say, more positivity is there. Only if we see that certain corrections, rectifications are made, it is a win-win situation. One more thing I wanted to say, last but not the least, is this, that we have seen police system in New Zealand, police system in Australia, America, European countries. I very well understand that situation here in India and situation there is very, very different. But those, I have myself seen that in police stations getting locked at 6 o'clock in the evening, all the police people going their home. After doing their work, they went home. Is it possible in this country? The big no will be the answer. So certainly there are a lot of pressures on police. Political intervention, political disturbance to these people is also one of the very negative things. We must think about it. Political pressures are there on the police. Anyways, that's a subject which is different. I wish all the very best to all of you. Many of you are students, youth, my future, my country's future, National Youth Council. I once again thank you. Devyanshi, I'm really thankful to you for organizing such thing. These small steps, baby steps as I call them, are very, very important for my country. Once again, my good wishes to you and all the listeners, all the participants who have taken out time. I'm thankful to you. I could see the entire band is full. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, sir. And with this, we will conclude this session with a hope lies within. It lies in the vision of a world where we have everything to live with dignity and where safety is not achieved at the tip of gun. Thank you so very much, sir, for an insightful session at the topic police atrocities and human rights. Thank you to all our live stream viewers and members of the NYCI National Youth Council of India for joining us today. Once again, on behalf of National Youth Council of India, I thank you, sir, and from the entire organization, I thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out your precious time and discussing this with the youth minds of our country. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Devyanshu, and all the best to each one of you. Thank you, and I would take leave now. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, and have a great day.